All right, guys, thanks again for joining us. Whoa, that's a wall of text. This is Cast Pajamas.
Whoa, this is Pain User.
Whoa, guys. We're back for another bonus coverage, round of 256 action from Week 2 of the IPL Season 2 qualifiers.
He said it.
Yes. All right, this is FXOqxc. Spunning is our purple Terran player here in the top right-hand corner of Zelniq Caverns. His opponent down here at the bottom left-hand corner is Zelniq. He is Spunning as our yellow Zerg player. Former teammate of yours. Good guy. Great player.
Great guy, great player, super dedicated. Actually, the man who got me into Game of Thrones before the series started to air. I'm still waiting on my buddy's sickness.
Halfway through book 2.
Right?
So good.
Right, I told you.
So good.
And I haven't even read it yet. I just heard it from all my friends, and I'm still waiting on my buddy's sickness to finish book 1, which he's like a third of the way through. And everybody else I've talked to is like, oh, I got book 1 and I finished it in 2 weeks. He's been sitting on it for like 2 months.
I finished it in 5 days.
I'm just going to go out and buy
5
it,
days.
man. I'm just
so
going to
good.
go out and buy it. Anyway, I feel like we need a little drum roll when we're doing our intros, you know, like round of 256, qualifier number 2, player number 1, player number 2. It's like we just need a little every time we're doing that. But
well, QXC has already started to show his hand a little bit. He decided to put the barracks here. He has the supply depot sitting at the back. There's second barracks.
Ooh, on 12 as well.
Yes.
So getting that super early second rack's going to try and do some pressure here. And I think this is a great build on this map, although I don't understand why a lot of Zerg players haven't just tried blindly, you know, like opening one base roach or something when people do this 2 racks all in type stuff and just containing them, like after the expo, you know.
Well, especially because a lot of players are following up with like Blue Flame Hellion builds and things like that and harassment afterwards, and it would be really, really good against that too. But, and you know, you mentioned both these on 12. I've noticed some players are doing a lot of different timings. 6Jax Major and Marine King Prime, as a matter of fact, are actually opening with double racks on 11. They actually just do supply depot racks on 11. So, you know,
I think honestly that might even be better. Just getting the Marines out there that much quicker and getting to the front is so important. I feel like you can just do so much more damage. But Zelniq actually opening with speed, a queen, and 4 lings off the immediate. So the 11 racks is probably great unless your opponent's doing this, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and then you actually sacrifice the economy that you actually hope to gain by doing damage to the expansion, and immediately QXC has to run away. We'll see if he turns around or if he decides just to kind of move up, try to do a little bit of damage. He is sending 1 SCV down to go ahead and stop any further construction of a base. There is our friendly drone, and he decides, nope,
you know, an offensive bunker might not... Oh, gets that SCV surrounded right there. Well done by Zelniq. An offensive bunker right there in the chasm or below the chasm might not have been a bad idea there for QXC. I mean, it would give him a forward staging point. He could delay the natural by that much. And now it looks like he's going to get run down almost for sure. Oh, Zelniq pulling off there. I don't really understand why. He could have continued to chase those Marines. It's not like he was in jeopardy of losing those lings, but he's going to finish speed here in a little bit. And if he's able to track those Marines down and kill them, that'll be a crippling blow for QXC. QXC actually heading back, going to bring all those Marines back, and he is getting that second command center up, so just transitioning immediately to an expansion here, not teching. Does have 2 gas going down though, so look to see a factory follow up to this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've casted quite a few. I mean, Spades before. I casted him in the round of 256. Who was he playing? It was Millennium Stefano. That's who it was. And he ended up doing this straight into just 2 factory Blue Flame Hellion every single game, and I've been seeing a lot of players do that as well. So we'll see if QXC decides to do that. He's actually got quite a few minerals saved up here for the time being. He is producing 1 Marine at a time. There we go. There's finally a barracks coming down. I was curious how much he was actually going to save up. And he'll be able to put down a factory here in a second. Ooh, 1 Marine does go down at the cost of a Zergling, maybe 2. But, yeah, I'm really curious to see how Zelniq follows this up. He's not going to be able to poke in for a while. QXC's going to turtle up until he can make drops.
Oh, what are you doing, Zelniq? He baited that so hard. I mean...
Yeah.
Ah, poor guy. Just lost a couple lings right there, but you know, you got to be able to sniff that out when there's, you know, 5 or 6 Marines shooting you on the high ground. There's just 1 Marine like, dirt, where am I, guys? Like, what am I doing? You know, he's probably being told to do that, you know. Marines do have the player controlled factor.
That is true.
He wasn't just drunk wandering around below the ramp, you know, outside the ramp.
This isn't quite Brood War pathing.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, QXC actually not following up immediately with the factory. He actually added a 3rd racks and then added 2 factories. So Kind of interesting build here. What's he actually getting on that Rax? Is that a reactor or a tech lab? So probably going to switch the factory onto the tech lab. And then I'm not sure what the third Rax is for exactly. Maybe he just wanted to keep the wall at the front intact the entire time and not be worried about some kind of baneling bust or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Zelniq was actually saving up quite a bit of money. He put that into 8 roaches here in the short term, but he's not following this up with any sort of economy. He just lost his Overlord that was flying overhead QXC's base, so now he's supply capped, and he is amassing quite a large army. But if we take a look at the worker count, QXC is already even. He's on his second orbital command, so he is going to be in a fine position to push ahead economically here. If Zelniq doesn't do a lot of damage, he could find himself pretty far behind.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like those 8 roaches are actually just hurting him right now. One thing he does have going for him right now is, oh my god, you do not want to be losing that many lings. I don't understand. Zelniq, what are you doing to me? I don't understand why you would send your lings in there, but he does have a roach follow-up coming through here. Might be able to get in and pick off that bunker before it gets up. No, not committing. I don't know, you know, and 20 lings on the way. Good lord, this is almost like a ZVP type all-in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Generally, this won't work in a Terran versus Zerg, and he is going to mass repair this bunker here. First bunker does go down, falling back to the second bunker now. I don't think that Zelniq is going to be able to outright kill him here. There are just too many Marines, and looks like he's forced to back off.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing almost no economic damage in the process. QXC did pull a few SCVs there for a little while, but that's not going to be enough to make the difference. Zelniq running right back up. Mass repair going down on the bunker one more time. Even with these Zerglings getting in here, the bunker may go down. It does, but at the cost of a ton of units. And the whole time, Zelniq wasn't really killing anything. He was just losing units in progress. Oh my god, all the rest of the Zerglings going down. Just 3 roaches remaining, and all he's doing is sending more units into this all-in.
Man, he is really focused on this all-in. He's not macroing. Look at his money. He was up to 600, 300 right there. There's a tank out now. He can micro that tank, continue to take pot shots on the roaches, which it is doing. And, you know, tanks in tank mode against small numbers of roaches without speed are excellent counters to roaches. Once the roaches get speed, it becomes a little bit more dicey, but for the time being, QXC is sitting pretty. He's in a great situation. 70 to 52 supply now. Oh, now 58. Going up there, finally starting to drone up a little bit. Continuing to lose small groups of Zerglings is Zelniq. You know, not his finest game so far. I wouldn't say he's out of this yet. He's certainly still in the running, but this next push from QXC could be a disaster. These Hellions have Blue Flame. You know, he's getting Siege. He has Combat Shield on the way, and he has a pretty menacing little ragtag group of random Terran units here.
Yeah, definitely. And he was supply capped there for quite a while, so that did give Zelniq a little bit of an opportunity to start equalizing the supply. But the way he's just thrown units over and over again, and his opponent has just been terrible, and now the Overlord is going to fall. The rest of the units coming in, I actually think there's enough here to clean this off pretty cost-effectively as well, only losing a few Zerglings in the process, so that will certainly help. But QXC's production is so much better than Zelniq's at the moment. He's on even bases. Worker count says he has 15 more workers, and he's dropping down double mules at the same time, so he is going to be A-okay to reproduce this army in a very short order.
Yeah, he will be able to reproduce this relatively quick here. You know, how many factories is he working off right now? Is he still working off those 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's still working off 2. Is he? Yeah, he is getting a tech lab on that. Also getting his starport here. Things might get a little jumbled in the back of his base here. Hopefully a tank or something doesn't pop out in between all those buildings. That's never fun. Okay, there we go. He's relocating that Rax, and he does have Combat Shield about to finish. No. Oh, he does have Stim. He did get Stim before that.
Yes.
Starting to build Marauders as well. I feel like not enough players mix Marauders in against Zerg. They're great tanks. They can take so many Zergling hits, so many Baneling hits, and you know they can slow down the Banelings as they're passing by the Marauders. They're just a great meat shield, and if somebody's building roaches, by all means throw in a few Marauders. They're so effective against roaches, like it's really not even funny.
Yeah, I've always wondered that too, why players don't just add in a couple against even Zergling compositions. Even if you just keep the Marines at the back and allow them to do the damage while the Marauders are soaking up all the hits, it just seems like it makes your force that much more cost effective.
It really does.
Yeah.
I feel like it does. Almost every time I've seen Marauders mixed in, you know, they serve their role perfectly. They are relatively expensive, and oh, Zelniq again, you know, just man, he really overcommits with those lings sometimes. You know, sometimes players will back off immediately after they see a Terran force, and they realize that there's no way with a pack of 15 lings you're going to kill that Terran army right there. So you got to be real quick about pulling back. You don't want to lose too many extra units in transition.
And it looks like an Overlord is going to go down. A couple of
Here
Banelings
we
with
go.
speed make their way out. QXC's pulling away. He hasn't lost any units yet. The Banelings do get a couple
Great
of good
micro.
bursts, but it was really, really nice split there. He did break up all those units. He's going to take down the rest of the Zerglings and a good portion of the Roaches as well. That is very, very bad for Zelniq. Looks like QXC just remassing his force here up at the top, still maintaining that economic advantage, attacked behind building another command center. So he, once again, even though he lost his whole army, finds himself in a great position. Zelniq is getting close to all in or get out of town time because his production is just not going to match that of QXC.
Yeah, and he's trying to get something done with this little group of roaches here. Gonna chase down that poor sap. That roach just gets dismembered, just hanging out by the Zelnaga tower, and it looks like QXC is just going to sit back, continue to macro up. Oh, he's actually pushing out a little bit here. Looks to me like he's probably going to try and establish a position at the gold and float that CC over a Saply, take that gold, get a PF up there, and then he'll be in a much better situation than he is right now. He finished his CC just before the Zerg hatchery finished, so getting their thirds at just about the same time. Zelniq is in position and up and running with a little bit of saturation. QXC still needs to float his to the gold, and he's trying to secure that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And this force of unupgraded Roaches, unupgraded Zerglings is not going to be able to hit any of these bio units. And oh, these Overlords are still within range. None of them. Oh, one of them does actually go down. QXC chasing those units around the side as well. Just going to be as annoying as possible.
Get a couple of them here.
Yeah, and so there's a second Overlord goes down, and third almost dead as well. Looks like he is going to take out the destructible rocks, though, go after that gold like you were talking about. Zelniq just getting units ready. I guess he's just waiting for the push. He does have enough creep out there that, he, with good positioning and hopefully unsieged tanks, he could do some significant damage, but QXC's forces are just devastating now. Up by 50 supply, even though he is supply blocked at the moment. Calling down all those mules on the gold. He's doing just fine.
Yeah, he has quite a few tanks as well, and he has them in a good position. He really has nothing to worry about right now except some kind of a counterattack or a flank. One thing I'd love to see out of QXC is some building walling going on at his natural and perhaps like down towards his gold. A walling with buildings just makes it so much more difficult for a Zerg to backstab or counterattack or anything like that. Nonetheless, he's doing a great job macroing. He's up 50 supply right now. Well, it's 152 to 109 right now. He does have 1-0 on his infantry. He has 2-1 on the way. Armor is about to finish, and a stim right there on something random. Zelniq saying WTF. Not sure what the deal is exactly. Zelniq maybe should pause if something's going on. I don't know. Well, GG. What happened to his army? Did we miss something?
No. His army's still sitting there. He didn't drop in supply. I just don't think he is happy with his position somehow. Oh, no! He exploded all his banelings.
No.
Okay, we're actually going to go ahead and take a look at that real quick because we're going to have to find that moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see here. Here's all the banelings. We'll go ahead.
He only has like 8. I mean, that's not the end of the world.
Yeah, but
it's not good. It's
more
certainly...
he realized he was behind for so long. So hold on.
Oh, that's more than 8.
Hold on. There's 16. So let's follow all the banelings up. This is gonna be bad. Okay, here he goes.
Oh, no.
And
say it ain't so.
Okay, hold on.
Slow-mo.
Yeah, normal speed. Normal speed. Looking at it from the side. We're waiting for it. It's gonna be here in just a second. Baneling's gonna get positioned to kill their own units and kaboom.
No.
Sad stuff.
Oh man. Yeah, that's the breaks.
Yep, it happens.
Not much to say about that game.
No.
Well played by QXC.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Going up 1-zip.
Yep, in this best of 3 set. So
I love how we went back and recaptured that.
With
the zoom and the rotate. No, that was great.
They blew up all their banelings. You gotta go look at it. So, all right, guys, hang tight. More self-exploding baneling action coming back at you. Game number 2. We'll be back in just a second.